It's okay. You're not going to die. That's the good news. You're not going to die. You're not going to disappear. You're not going to lose everything. No one's going to think any less of you. What am I talking about? The pressure to buy a house. The pressure to be a homeowner, or what I like to call a loan owner, because if you know, like I know, you never truly own a home. So if I always say, look, if it can be taken from you, you don't own it. So if you pay off your mortgage, but you don't pay your property taxes, you don't own it. So if you pay off your mortgage, pay your property taxes, but you fail to maintain your property, you don't own it. It can be confiscated. It can be taken from you. Lawsuits, a bunch of other ways. Probably the most dangerous way to own a home is, like I always tell you, with a paycheck. And if you happen to lose that paycheck, potentially, hopefully not, but potentially you could you could lose your home. So we don't want to be in that situation ever. That's why I do these videos, to try to educate you and to try to get you to think a certain way about money and finances, so that you're not caught up in that mess of a financial life, I guess we can call it. And I've been there, done that. You don't want to do it, trust me. Welcome to the channel. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. I'm Shon-Jhon, the Middleman CEO. I teach you how to start a business from your phone. That's why I call it Middleman. I teach students how to build businesses without having to leave the house and still make a bunch of money. So welcome to the channel. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. There's a lot of pressure on people today. There's like so much pressure to be a homeowner. Like, what has happened to us? I get that being a homeowner like 20, 30 years ago for your parents, your grandparents, you know, that was something that was a realistic accomplishment, realistic dream, because there were some things in place that are no longer in place. So your parents, your grandparents, they had some things in place, some resources in place where they could safely buy a home, live in the home for 40 years, pay it off. Unfortunately, that's not the case today. And so the reason I say it, and again, people are obsessed. I watch videos on YouTube or somewhere else, and I see, you know, people talking about houses. People are obsessed with owning these homes. Homes that, you know, if they buy it, they'll be living paycheck to paycheck. They still want it. Homes where they know they probably can't afford it. They still want it. So homes where to put their family in financial struggle lane. Sign me up. You know, and people want that life. They want to go get that life. They want to live in the struggle. They don't care. People don't mind it. So I do. That's why I told a friend, I was like, hey, we sold our house, not because we didn't love our house, we did. Not because we didn't want to be homeowners, we did. But because two reasons. Well, number one, the house appreciated a lot, made a lot of money, so that was a good deal. Number two, and this should probably be number one, but number two, we were paying for the house using a paycheck. So remember I said things were different for your parents and your grandparents. So let's talk about it. Whenever they purchased homes, and they signed the dotted line, they had the almost had the guarantee of a safe, secure job. And I run across a lot of people now that's like 45 and older, And they still believe that there's a such thing as a safe, secure job. And I'm here to tell you, there's no such thing. Not anymore. So, but your parents and your grandparents had as close to a safe, secure job as you could have. So they had a bunch of things in place for them. Because with the safe, secure job came the income to buy the home for the next 30 years, retirement or defined benefits plans, which were the guaranteed retirements where your parents or grandparents got retirement checks. That was in their favor. The job being there for 30, 40 years was in their favor. Now it's ultra competitive, hyper competitive. There's no way you could keep a job now, even 5 years, 10 years max. So, and that means you're going to have to find other employment. Who knows if they'll pay you more or less. To me, it's just a nightmare scenario you're setting yourself up for. Something I try to avoid. Again, we're in the market to buy a new house. So I don't want you to think I'm contradicting myself or being a hypocrite. I'm not. Remember what I said. I'm not against buying homes. I'm against buying homes with paychecks. So what do I mean by that? I mean, if your plan is to pay for your house for the next 30 years by trading your time for money on a job to get this thing called a paycheck, then don't do it. Well, what do? Great question. I'm going to change your life right now. Instead of buying the house with your paycheck, use the money to start a business. Let the business grow. Whatever business you want to start, it's up to you. Let the business grow. It may take a year, may take 2, may take 3. Don't worry. Time's going to go by anyway. It's better to be working on something than to be working on nothing, because time's not going to stop. So use the money. Let's do a hypothetical. Okay, so you want to get a house. House is about, we keep it low, 25 grand down. All right, you can get that, go into the house, pay for the next 30-year obligation, or you can take the 25 grand, go and start a business. What kind of business? Let's say something simple. You go and get a ice cream truck. All right, so that ice cream truck makes $5,000 a month. That's it. Nothing crazy, nothing astronomical. It's not going to make you rich, not going to make you a millionaire, but it does cash flow. So that $5,000 comes in each month. You can count on it. All right, so 5 grand off the truck. That's $5,000 a month you have coming in. You don't have the house yet. It's been a year. You wanted to get the house. You missed out on it. I know. That's why it's called sacrifice. Most people aren't willing to sacrifice, so they go and put themselves in bad positions. I'm telling you, sacrifice is not a bad thing, especially when you have a plan. When you have a blueprint, sacrifice to make sure that blueprint's accomplished. And so you go ahead, you get 5 grand a month from your business. Okay, not a whole lot. And then what do you do next? Well, now that 5 grand, let's say you want to spend the entire 5 grand on a house. Now you can go and potentially get a house, a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 home, right? So now you have your home, and the best part is you don't need a paycheck to pay for it, and you didn't need a paycheck to get it. So now you're in the house. Let's say a year later you lose your job. Most people would panic and bury themselves in pity and sorrow and throw the biggest pity party and invite you over. But you don't have to do that. Reason being is you can actually celebrate it, because you're like, hey, look, don't be sad for me that I got fired or lost my job. No. I listened to this guy on YouTube. He told me what to do. I took his advice. I invested. I created a business. We waited. That money got pregnant, had some more baby monies. Now we got $5,000 a month in cash flow. This house costs $5,000 a month. As long as that ice cream truck is rolling, this home is paid for. I don't need a job. My spouse doesn't need a job. The kids don't need extra jobs. We're good to go. What are you going to do next? We'll repeat the same thing. We're going to use assets to generate cash flow, and then let the cash flow pay for the liability. Okay, now you want a car? Do it the same way. Want to take a vacation? Do it the same way. Can't live out of your savings account? I don't even recommend you have them, but you can't live out of them because they don't replenish themselves. Once they're used, they're done. So, again, you don't have to do what I tell you to do. This is just what I would do. Owning a house, a lot of pressure on people. People are losing their minds trying to be homeowners. Have their family in financial stress because they want to be a homeowner. And I don't get it. Sure, having a house is better than having an apartment or a townhouse. Yeah, of course. Of course, absolutely. Because I can foresee the comments. I'd rather be a homeowner than a renter all my life. Just depends. This just depends. What does it depend on? How are you going to pay for it? That's what it depends on. How are you buying this house? Paycheck? Then it's better to be a renter. Well, what if I build up equity? What if you don't? Houses lose value today. Houses are dropping all over the country like crazy. Where's that equity they've been telling you about? It's always a good time to buy. No, stop it. It's always a good time to lie for them. But you doing things because intrinsically you believe that makes you somebody. Stop caring what other people think. Stop caring what other people think about you. Stop thinking about what they think about you. I don't think about what people think about me. I just look at my family and I go, what's the best move I can do? I say this to myself. I say, Sean, what's the best move you can do right now to put your family in a better position financially? As soon as I figure it out, I do it. I also say, what's the worst thing you could do right now to put your family in a worse position? And when I figure that out, I don't do it. So, for instance, we would like to buy so we went and looked at a house the other day here in Frisco in North Dallas, right? One of the probably the hottest city in America, Frisco, Texas. Frisco, McKinney, Plano, the Colony, they're all around the same area, Prosper. And we were looking at this house and we were like, look, this floor plan is beautiful. My wife's loving this bathroom, how it opens up, like amazing. And we're like, what's the cost? And she was like, well, they start at, no. We don't want to know what they start at. We want to know what's the cost for this exact floor plan with all of the upgrades I'm looking at right now. Because I know once I get that cost, it can only go down from there. So she's like, oh, this is 1.3. Now, 1.3 is a lot of money. That's a lot of dang money. But I wasn't even thinking about the cost. You know why? Because my wife liked the house. So all I'm thinking about is, okay, now that I have your number, how do I get this for my wife? Right? And so I never for a second thought about where can I go and get a job. I never thought about who's hiring. No job with my skill level is going to pay me enough to buy that. I never thought about getting a job, trading my time for money, who's hiring. None of that. I didn't even think about interest rates. I know they're high. I didn't even think about interest rates. You know what I thought about? I'll tell you. What asset can we build to create enough revenue or cash flow to pay for a $1.3 million home, which probably on average is about $10,000 a month. That's all we thought about. Well, that's all I thought about. My wife just left it to me. She was just like, go get me this house. It's like, all right, yes, ma'am. Like she's like a drill sergeant. Like, get me this house. Yes, ma'am. Be right back. And I'm going to war. Some of you got to be willing to go to financial war to get the life you want. But you're not willing. You're not willing to go to war to get the life you want. You're not willing to go to war. You'll go to war to get your cell phone back if somebody happens to take it, or you know, you lose it or anything like that, or you'll go to war on social media, you know, stuff like that. But whoa, bear with me. But when it comes to what are you going to do for yourself and your family, all of a sudden you don't know how to fight. You don't want to go to war. You just want to take it easy. All right, 10:30. I already got a meeting at 10:30. You set that up. And but you guys, you don't want to do that. You don't want to fight. I'm out exercising. I don't need air conditioning on right now. It's time for me to go. It's the summertime in Dallas. That's all you need to know. Now, it's not as bad because it probably get up to like 90s today, but it's not as bad as where I'm from, like South Louisiana, because there's no humidity here. So in South Louisiana, there is so much humidity. You just stay wet. So somebody asked the other day, it's like, what's the difference between humidity and dry heat? Humidity simply means you don't dry up. You stay wet. So if you sweat, you're sweaty. If you sweat, you're going to stay sweaty the entire day that you're outside. Whereas if it's a dry heat, if you stop moving around, you're probably going to dry up a little. Humidity simply means that the air is really, really moist. That's the best way I could describe it, is you're going to sweat and you're never going to dry up. That's what humidity is. So I'd take 90 degrees in a dry heat over, heck, I'd take 100 degrees in a dry heat over 85 in humidity. Oh my gosh. So my people who watch from Houston and down south, you know what I'm talking about. That humidity will straight hit you in the face and disrupt your life real quick. So, by the way, shout out to everybody who's gotten into the middleman CEO masterclass in this past week. I appreciate everybody who enrolled. We're going to be working together. For some of us, we've already started working together. And after you take the masterclass, we get into some one-on-one training and coaching, and we help you to go ahead and launch your business. So I wake up to emails, DMs, messages like all the time. People are like, hey, I got this done, I'm ready to go, ready to make money, or hey, I'm making money, I just got my first deposit. And it excites me because I know it's a winning strategy, because it's all I do. I've been doing it since 2020, and I don't do anything else, nor do I want to do anything else. So I enjoy it because it gives me all this free time to do the things I enjoy doing, which is like hanging out with you, hanging out with the family, things like that. And so that's why I love the idea of being a middleman, because that gives me joy. So, all right, this video is longer than I thought it would be, so I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed day. If you would like to learn how to do the 3 things that I teach how to make money, which is to start a business from your phone, you will book customers, take deposits from the customer, and then dispatch the work to someone else. So you don't do the work. I don't do the work. Someone else already does the work. We just simply find a customer, just like Tinder, we match them to the business, and we get paid to do it. On average, 100, 150, even more, 200, 250, depends on what you're doing, per customer. So imagine if you're making 150 per customer, you get 2 customers a day, that's $300 per day. If you do that for the entire month, that's $9,000 for the entire month. I told you this could be 6 figures very quickly, and my goal is to get these students off to 6 figures very, very quickly. So that's how you do it. That's how you build a business. Success is just a tap away. So if you want to learn how to do it, put middleman in the comments below, and then get the blueprint on how to build a successful middleman business, so you don't always have to work. If you're tired of working for a living, you need a middleman business. If you're tired of missing out on you spending time with your kids and your loved ones and your family and your friends, you need a middleman business. If you're tired of going to sleep early on weeknights, getting off late, sitting in traffic, going to a job you hate, working hard, getting underpaid, undervalued, paid less for all the hard work, right? Having to put in extra hours, extra time, second job, overtime just to make ends meet, then you need a middleman business. Why? Because a middleman business is freedom. You can do it from your phone, you can do it from your home, you can do it from sofa, you could do it with a friend, you could do it alone. It does not matter. You can do it from the beach, right? You can do it. So if you want to learn how to do it, put middleman in the comments below. See you guys on the next video. Peace.